Hey, what's happening, everybody? So I'm doing a little bit of cleanup on this Triumph Thunderbird. And well, when I first got the bike, and it's something that if you've seen the other videos, you may not have even noticed, but this bike had one of these big chrome quick release brackets for those, windshields that are the small one or the really big one, looks like chips. So yeah, that wasn't gonna stick around. This bike will probably end up getting a fly screen. And to put that on the bike, you have to remove or not have this stuff on there. It's not designed to work with those brackets. And well, so far, if you remove the luggage rack and the sissy bar and the brackets and the screen, guys, I've pulled about 25 pounds off of this bike already, but that's really not the point here. If you notice just how shiny this is looking right now, and some of this other stuff looks pretty good too. Well, that's great. I've been working on it with whatever I had available, basically trying to pull as much of that oxidation out of any aluminum bits, any stainless bits, or anything like that, any chrome. That stuff can oxidize. You get this film on there that is just kind of gross, and especially for any aluminum, that stuff's a real pain because, well, as you know, aluminum oxide gets that like white powdery film on it. It's basically the equivalent to rust for aluminum. Anyway, I've been going at this for a while. This actually was underneath that big bracket that was up here. And, well, this thing hadn't seen the light of day for about the last 10 years, right? So even with the bike having super low mileage, it still had some grime that had gotten back there. And, of course, the metal had never been seen before by the viewing public, so to speak. And so it had a bunch of that, just that funk on it. So it's tough to get off. It's best if you've got something that runs on electricity. I would probably have preferred diesel powered with as long as I've been working on this to get it off of there. But it is very nice and very shiny now. So anyway, that's what I'm up to with this bike. It looks like she is going to be heading over to Triumph Houston to have her 2-season refresh, if you will. So we're going to go back with the Metzlers, the same tires that came on the bike, basically a radiator flush. We've already changed the oil in the bike, have gone out, taken it for a bit of a scoot. Really am starting to warm up to this bike in general. I'm not sure that I'll ever be cruiser guy, but I can tell you guys this Triumph Thunderbird is kind of making a bit of a, again, I don't want to say a convert, but I get it now. I'm really starting to get the allure of these bikes. And by the way, I'll tell you, like I say, we haven't done a walk around. That's probably going to happen when she gets back. I kind of want to get the fly screen on here too. But the main thing is that this bike is a riot because it is nothing but torque. The party's over before 5,000 RPM, but you'd never be left wanting for power with something like this. And you may hear me say this again in a future video, but what is it like to ride something like this? It's, if you had one of the new, like that Thruxton RS that I did the review on, it is very Thruxton-ish, as long as you weren't really wrapping out the Thruxton. That's a lot like how this bike is. It's a lot like the Thruxton, just without the over rev that you would get with the extra RPM. So it's definitely, I wouldn't call it fast, but I wouldn't call it slow. A quick twist of the wrist in its power band, and it will absolutely start moving at a rate that's a little bit, if you're not expecting it, it'll surprise you a little bit, which is pretty cool. It's a neat place to be with anything that you're working with. So anyway, that's what I'm up to in the shop tonight, basically trying to clean up some of the old funk that's been building up on this thing since it basically just sat in a garage. But definitely looking forward to getting her refreshed and knocked out so I can start really putting some miles on this thing. I will say this, the tires on this bike, well, they're 10 years old. And not that I'm out riding the thing, but I have taken it out just to put some heat in it, make sure everything's working well. And this bike does have enough power that if you're taking off from a dead stop, and especially with older rubber, she'll haze the tires pretty darn good, which to me is a lot of fun. Again, I'm kind of warming up. That's one of the reasons why I'm really kind of warming up to these bikes. They do things that sport bikes really don't do. it's just a different way of going about having fun with a motorcycle, but yeah, you're not really trying to light the tires up with a sport bike, traditional, definitely, chest forward style riding position. You're not really trying to do that. Well, this one, I'm half tempted to say it kind of encourages that behavior. But anyway, guys, look, let me go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you very much for stopping by. Post up your comments and we'll catch you on the next one. That's a wrap. Adios.